Ali Khamenei isn't just Iran's supreme leader, he's the invisible hand behind a $100 billion empire, operating far beyond the spotlight. Unlike other billionaires who travel by private jet, Khamenei disappears through secret tunnels, underground airstrips, and ghost convoys flanked by an elite security force so covert that even world presidents have been caught off guard. His power is absolute, his movements untraceable, and his influence extends into a shadow army few dare to name. But what's even more shocking? New evidence suggests that Israel and Trump may have been entangled in a hidden hunt for Iran's untouchable ruler. Let's uncover 8 staggering truths about Ali Khamenei, and trust us, the final revelation will leave you speechless. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei isn't just Iran's supreme leader, he is enemy number 1 in the eyes of the West, and the walls are closing in. In a chilling exposé, the Daily Telegraph recently confirmed that a string of top Iranian generals and nuclear scientists were eliminated in pinpoint Israeli airstrikes, leaving Tehran's leadership rattled. Each strike chips away at Khamenei's shield, tightening the noose with surgical precision. The message is no longer implied, it's direct. Former US President Donald Trump added fuel to the fire, stating bluntly, "We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding." He taunted the Iranian regime by suggesting Khamenei could be struck at will, a warning reinforced by the Pentagon's arsenal of deep-penetrating bunker busters. Khamenei's response? Total disappearance. He has reportedly gone underground, literally into fortified bunkers beneath Tehran, leaving behind a stunned political apparatus and a deafening silence. Trump's rhetoric didn't end with veiled threats, it escalated to demands. He called for Iran's unconditional surrender while simultaneously emphasizing that the US was holding its limbs, preserving the element of surprise. As Israeli intelligence continues to dismantle Iran's upper military command and nuclear infrastructure, Khamenei finds himself increasingly isolated. According to the Times of Israel, the supreme leader now lives under a veil of ghost-like mobility, abandoning all modern conveniences to stay ahead of targeting systems. No luxury convoys. No phones. No internet. His movements are orchestrated through a labyrinth of secret tunnels, military aircraft, and IRGC-controlled airstrips. It's not merely secrecy, it's survival. Each decision is a calculated move in a game of high-stakes evasion. Inside sources reveal that this extreme protocol is enforced with surgical precision. Khamenei's inner circle now forbids the use of any trackable vehicles or electronic communication, no texts, calls, or encrypted messages. All briefings must happen face-to-face inside shielded locations. On the rare occasions he travels, he boards unmarked military aircraft headed to disguised IRGC air bases. According to the Economic Times, a new elite IRGC protection unit so secret even senior IRGC commanders were unaware of its existence now monitors his movements 24/7. The Telegraph reports that fuel logs, airport manifests, and even military flight data are purged or falsified to ensure total invisibility. No paper trail. No digital trace. As Israeli drones buzz overhead and US satellites scan for signs, one truth becomes terrifyingly clear: Ali Khamenei is no longer just hiding, he has vanished into a military machine built for shadows. The Invisible Army. Deep beneath the surface of Iran's power structure lies a force so secretive, so specialized, that even senior government insiders speak of it in whispers. Dubbed the Invisible Army, this ultra-covert unit forms the last line of defense around Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Officially nested within the IRGC's Valley AMR Special Forces and born in the chaos of the mid-1980s, the unit now boasts an estimated 12,000 elite operatives. But these aren't mere bodyguards, they are cyber warriors, drone interceptors, and AI-driven threat analysts, trained to neutralize everything from airborne assassination attempts to digital infiltration by foreign intelligence. Unlike traditional military branches, this force answers only to Khamenei, its existence veiled even from most Iranian generals. Their domain isn't above ground, but below fortified bunkers possibly stretching beneath Tehran and near the IRGC's tightly secured media headquarters. The urgency of their mission has reached a fever pitch. In just the past few weeks, Israeli operations reportedly eliminated 11 senior IRGC officers and 14 nuclear scientists, delivering a brutal reminder: Khamenei is now the final target. This escalation has triggered the Invisible Army's most intense mobilization to date. Armed with anti-drone defense systems and advanced cyber shields, they operate in a world of shadows without ceremony, without recognition. Unlike the U.S. Secret Service, which operates under public scrutiny and governmental oversight, this force has no parades, no official name, and no visible structure. It is not just a military body, it is a myth woven into Iran's subterranean security fabric. As Western powers intensify their campaign, this silent legion prepares not just to protect a man, but to preserve a regime on the edge of exposure. Inside the labyrinthine bunkers hidden beneath Tehran, shielded by concrete, deception, and digital silence, Khamenei's invisible army trains for a war few will ever see. These operatives go far beyond traditional bodyguards. They master drone jamming, deploy artificial intelligence to detect assassination attempts before they unfold, and wage silent cyber war from deep within Iran's most guarded fortresses. Their headquarters, rumored to be adjacent to IRGC-controlled media hubs, is designed for absolute optical erasure, immune to satellite heat mapping, undetectable by Western drones. Within these hidden chambers, the Supreme Leader's command center operates like a sealed nerve center. Whispers become orders, and invisible signals shape the fate of Iran's $95 billion regime. It is here, far from the gaze of the world, that Khamenei plots not just survival, but a potential last stand. Then, on Wednesday, June 18, 2025, something broke through the veil. There was no live speech, no firebrand appearance at Tehran's mosques. Instead, Iranian state TV aired a pre-recorded video of Ayatollah Khamenei, pale, diminished, and visibly shaken. Dressed in modest robes, his voice lacked its usual edge, his eyes hinted at fear, not authority. This wasn't a projection of strength, it was a portrait of vulnerability. For a man who once ruled with unchallenged power, the message felt like a coded surrender. The Telegraph later confirmed it was no ordinary broadcast, it was damage control. Sources revealed that Iran's once mighty propaganda machine was fraying. And in a stunning move, Khamenei, surrounded by collapsing military structures and suffocating pressure, did the unthinkable. He reached out to Donald Trump. Using Qatar as the discreet intermediary, Iran's supreme leader may have already begun negotiating his own political survival, an act that could mark either the final gamble of a desperate regime or the first quiet step toward surrender. In classic Trump fashion, what was meant to be a covert diplomatic backchannel turned into a public spectacle. They even offered to come to the White House, he posted, bluntly shattering all notions of secrecy and instantly humiliating Khamenei before a global audience. Tehran scrambled to deny the claim, but the psychological damage had already detonated. Trump wasn't just playing the negotiator anymore, he was waging psychological warfare, transforming every tweet into a strategic strike. His pointed declarations, "We know exactly where the supreme leader is hiding," weren't idle taunts. They were calculated pressure tactics meant to rattle the regime's foundations. And now, Trump has drawn a line in the sand: unconditional surrender. For a man once revered as the architect of resistance against the West, Khamenei now faces the unthinkable, stepping back in shame rather than going down in flames. As Trump tightens the noose, Israel turns up the heat. Precision airstrikes have dismantled Iranian command centers and disabled critical nuclear sites. Meanwhile, Mossad and the IDF have launched open-source recruitment campaigns inviting digital sleuths worldwide to help identify regime assets, accelerating Tehran's unraveling from both above and within. But perhaps the most ominous threat comes not from bombs, but from within. Reza Pahlavi, the exiled crown prince, is quietly gaining traction. Inside Iran, Khamenei's influence is bleeding out, his advisors are vanishing, rival factions are splintering, and a weary public, strangled by sanctions and propaganda fatigue, is slipping beyond his control. The supreme leader's deepest fear isn't an airstrike, it's appearing weak. A single image of him pleading for mercy could collapse his carefully built mythos. Behind closed doors, talks are underway in Geneva, with Foreign Minister Araghchi courting Europe, and even nudging Russia and China for cover. Yet beneath every handshake lies the shadow of taqiyya, the Islamic doctrine of strategic deception. Even if Iran signs a new deal, its nuclear ambitions won't die, they'll simply retreat, sharpen, and re-emerge. This is more than diplomacy, it's survival, it's deception. And it's a $95 billion regime teetering on the edge of vanishing into the smoke. Absolute power and the Secretive empire. After the death of Ayatollah Khomeini in 1989, Ali Khamenei began consolidating power, and today, he's not just a cleric, but Iran's shadow king. No Iranian president has dared to openly oppose him. Khamenei controls the judiciary, the national media, and the feared IRGC, his personal military elite that operates like a state within a state. Over 2,000 hand-picked loyalists are embedded across all ministries, ensuring every decision, every policy, and every narrative serves him alone. While ordinary Iranians suffer under crippling inflation, joblessness, and harsh sanctions, Khamenei presides over a shadowy financial empire known as Secretive, a religious foundation that has morphed into a megacorporation. According to reports, Secretive controls assets worth over $95 billion, including oil fields, telecom companies, and vast real estate holdings. Most importantly, Secretive answers to no one. Officially, Khamenei's salary is estimated between $2,400 and $6,000 per month. But intelligence leaks paint a very different picture. His real income could reach tens of millions per year. His personal net worth is believed to exceed $1.2 billion, funneled through offshore accounts and shell companies. At the center of it all is a lavish private mansion hidden deep in central Tehran, where Khamenei doesn't just live, he reigns. This isn't just a home, it's a fortress masked as a sanctuary. The estate boasts sprawling gardens, high-tech underground garages, silk-lined chambers, and a war room-style office where national strategy is crafted in complete secrecy. Beneath layers of security, including surveillance drones and armed guards, Khamenei houses a luxury car collection worthy of global elites, a $240,000 BMW 7 Series, a $300,000 Mercedes-Benz SL, a $180,000 Porsche Cayenne, and an armored Mitsubishi Pajero priced at another $240,000, nearly $1 million in automotive power, hidden behind steel and silence. But the empire doesn't stop at his doorstep. His sons, daughters, and in-laws hold influential stakes in Iran's most critical sectors: oil, telecom, defense, and finance. As Reuters and Radio Farda report, the Khamenei dynasty operates more like a shadow cartel than a religious family, untouchable, untraceable, and deeply entrenched in every vein of Iranian power. The Khamenei family, a $5 billion shadow empire. They preach martyrdom, denounce Western materialism, and call for sacrifice from the people. But behind the veil of piety, the family of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei lives like Gulf monarchs. According to investigations by Radio Farda and Reuters, the Khamenei clan controls a vast fortune exceeding $5 billion, while millions of Iranians queue for bread under the weight of inflation and crushing sanctions. At the heart of this dynasty is Mojtaba Khamenei, the supreme leader's second son and presumed heir. Mojtaba alone is believed to control at least $3 billion, including $300 million in gold and diamonds stashed across European and Gulf banks. He orchestrates exclusive oil deals with China at below-market prices, transforming national wealth into personal vaults. His empire includes private jets, helicopters, luxury stables, and even Iran's largest shopping mall. Thousands of acres of prime land in Abbasabad were handed to him by the former IRGC commander, now Tehran's mayor, in what insiders call a silent transfer of royal power. But Mojtaba is not the only royal. Masoud Khamenei, the digital gatekeeper of the family, not only manages the supreme leader's public image but also oversees a hidden asset network, $400 million in European bank accounts, and monopoly control over Renault car imports in Iran. Maisam Khamenei, the youngest son, is worth over $200 million and leverages $10 million in liquid trade capital to manipulate domestic markets through artificial scarcity. Even the daughters hold power. Bashra Khamenei controls a $100 million luxury goods and real estate portfolio, while Hoda Khamenei runs an exclusive salon for Tehran's elite, where European fashion meets regime privilege. Hassan Khamenei, Mojtaba's uncle, manages state media contracts through Sony's Iranian branch, worth $600 million, and has long dominated government media tenders. Each family member operates like a miniature corporate empire, and together they form a closed religious political cartel. While ordinary Iranians struggle to survive, the Khameneis fly in helicopters, spend in foreign currency, and live like kings, untouched, unchallenged, and unseen. If you found these truths as shocking as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story hidden behind the headlines. More secrets, more power plays coming soon. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay with us.